Rangers got back to winning ways again as they beat St Mirren at home 5-2, and in today's video we will discuss 5 major talking points from the game, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. One of the stories we'll go over is the Rangers star who has came out and spoken about his future as his contract nears to an end. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Ali McCoist has snapped at suggestions Rangers need a new sporting director. Manager Michael Beale was told this week how he would be undertaking Ross Wilson's role on after he left Ibrox at the role of Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. The summer transfer window is on the horizon, and Beale believes he and his recruitment staff already have plans in place that don't need Wilson's stamp of approval. For McCoist, he wants the club to back Beale rather than focus any need on replacing Wilson, as the manager is the man who carries the can for decisions on signings and incomings, as he says it should be. He said, "Do you know something? They need a goalkeeper, a centre-half, a left-back and a centre-forward more than they need a director of football. That's what they need." Your argument would be that the director of football could pick that, right? Call me old-fashioned. I want the manager and his staff to have the final say on the players, because if they're going to be judged on results, the manager must be able to pick his own players. Coisty went on, "Surely, if you're the manager or number one coach, you want the responsibility to land on your door. You don't want to say, well, we got beat 2-1, but what about the left back we got? I didn't even sign him. That's nonsense. You have to be responsible for your own decisions." Just a quick one before we get back into the video, guys. We've released our brand new merchandise. We've got our Graham Souness Tim Scalping t-shirts, along with our Michael Beale Stan Smith tees. Do shop the collection by going to rfcclothing.com or going down into the link in the description. Let's get back into today's video. John Lundstram has revealed he's desperate for a new Rangers deal, but he's still waiting. The Ibrox midfielder has a year still left on his current contract, and at 29 he's enjoying life in Glasgow. He's made 93 appearances since arriving under Steven Gerrard in 2021, and he hopes to add to that number as a regular fixture in Michael Beale's team. The Gers have kept quiet on their contract situations this season so far, with a number of key men out of deals in the summer, including Ryan Kent, Ryan Jack, Alfredo Morelos and Scott Arfield. And while Lundstram's future is not quite so timely, he'd like to have it tied up sooner rather than later. He said, "I'd love to stay here for as long as the club wants me, but there's nothing at the minute. I love the club and have never shied away from that. I'd love to stay, but there's nothing. We all want to win the Old Firm, of course we do, that's our biggest rival. To get a win against them would be great. We are building and progressing. I thought we were a lot better in the last Old Firm than we were in the one before, so hopefully we can get a big statement performance that can really give us confidence then to go on." St Mirren twice came from behind but were left with nothing to show for their efforts, and Ibrox's Rangers ran out comfortable 5-2 winners. Mark O'Hara pulled the visitors level after Todd Cantwell's opener, and then cancelled out a fashion Sakala's strike, but Alfredo Morelos netted twice in quick succession before substitute Scott Arfield completed the scoring for Michael Beale's side. An early penalty miss from James Tavernier didn't matter for Rangers, as we now turn our attentions to Aberdeen ahead of the Scottish Cup showdown with Celtic. In this part of the video, we'll discuss the 5 major talking points from the clash. Rangers got there in the end. This wasn't how many would have expected the afternoon to unfold. The final result of home wins was no surprise, but the way in which Rangers got over the line could not have been predicted before a ball was kicked. Rangers should have set themselves out on the road to victory when Tavernier stepped up from 12 yards. Alex Gogic was then penalised for a trip on Nicholas Raskin, and Trevor Garson bailed him out as he made a terrific save to parry away Tavernier's penalty. The Rangers captain may have not added to his goal tally, but he did get an assist for the opener as his cross was flicked home by Cantwell. Even that wasn't the foundation that Rangers needed. O'Hara, as we said earlier on, netted twice either side of Sakala's header as he beat Carson from distance with a well-placed nod from a free kick. It took until the closing stages for Rangers to really win it. The first effort from Morelos saw him convert from close range after Carson saved a Cantwell header. The second, after a VAR check, was a clinical strike from the edge of the area. Rangers were worth their win, although the strike from Arfield did add a shine to the scoreline that Stephen Robinson will feel harsh on St Mirren. Beale takes no chances. The side was expected and perhaps as feared for some supporters. Beale was once again limited in terms of his options due to injuries, but a couple of those on the bench would have been hoping that this would have been their afternoon to get a chance to impress. Beale confirmed on Friday that Ryan Jack and Ryan Kent had joined Connor Goldson, Ridvan Yilmaz, Scott Wright and Antonio Kolak on the injured list. Their places went to John Lundstram and Sakala, as the two changes were made from the side that lost at Parkhead. Arfield had to settle for a place on the bench once again, as did Leon King, Yanis Hadji and Rabbi Matondo. There was no spot at all for Robbie McCrory, and that was the biggest surprise when the squad list was confirmed at Ibrox. With Alan McGregor seemingly heading for retirement and John McLaughlin's future uncertain, this was surely the ideal chance to give McCrory a game and let him stake his claim to be thinking the next season. The only action the keeper saw was helping out during the warm-up. Matondo got a half hour in the first minute since December, and Arfield Hadji and Glenn Kamara got the final 15 minutes. An assist from Matondo and a typical Arfield effort were two positives for Beale to take. Todd Cantwell is a baller. Cantwell was seriously becoming my favourite player, and I'm really enjoying seeing him playing week in and week out. It looks as though he is getting better every single time we see him, and yesterday he put in a man of the match performance and managed to bag a goal and 2 assists. Now we really need to see him show up in the derby at the end of the month. Morelos still our best striker. A good all-round display from the Colombian, his link-up play was sharp, playing the ball that led to the penalty, and a clever deep run was the trigger that drew out the St Mirren defence for the opener. He didn't have much joy closer to the goal until late on when converting the winner from close range before blasting home a lovely Matondo cutback. Morelos is still our best striker, and all of you guys know how much I love him and hope he stays at Ibrox beyond the summer. Standards can't slip before the end of the season. There are now just 6 games to go in the Premiership. For many, the final whistle of the league campaign cannot come quickly enough at Ibrox. The trip to Pittodrie next weekend carries its own significance, and the 5 post-split matches must of course be won by Rangers. The Old Firm clash here takes care of itself and will have an added dimension if won by Rangers. That importance of the semi-final cannot be understated for Beale. After 3 derbies without a win, he needs a result against Celtic, and he needs to land that silverware to give him something to take from his first month as manager. This was a cracking afternoon for a game as the sun shone over Ibrox, and it turned into an entertaining affair, even if it was never likely to be a raucous atmosphere given the circumstances Rangers find themselves in. Beale must find a way to keep the standards high and maintain an intensity for the closing weeks of the campaign. The Old Firm fixtures and the cup final, if it comes, will be the simplest tasks in regards, but the remaining Premiership matches must not be wished away and disregarded. Michael Beale has revealed he had harsh words with his Rangers players at half-time. He said, "There were some harsh words at half-time. We come out and got a goal straight away from what we conceded off a set play, and I have to make changes off of the bench. I'm delighted with the guys who come off of the bench and made an impact. I think all the guys who came on did well. If you were in the stadium, you can understand why we scored so many goals, but it was a mixed bag today. It was a mixed bag of performance, if I'm honest, obviously getting 5 goals and some good ones, which I'll comment on, but the 2 goals against are a concern. They could have been stopped. Nothing against O'Hara's strikes because they were excellent, especially the first one, but we were sloppy in the both moments and we need to be better than that." Rangers fans, what were your thoughts on the performance yesterday, and do you think Lundstram deserves a new contract? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we have released our brand new Michael Beale Stan Smith tees, along with our Graham Souness Tim Scalping t-shirts. They're now available on our website. Just go down into the link in the description or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.